Okay, so picture this. There's a neighborhood in Tokyo that almost nobody talks about. A place where the engines of the Zero Fighter were built, and somehow became the birthplace of Tokyo Ramen. And right now, as we speak, the last traces of that story are disappearing. That's what we're here for today. Let me take you back to Ogikubo before 1925. Everything you see here today, the cafes, the ramen shops, the shopping streets, 100 years ago, this was all daikon radish fields and farmhouses stretching along Omikaido, the old road that cuts through this part of Tokyo. Horse-drawn carts, cattle, a quiet rural village. And then Nakajima Aircraft showed up. Most people outside Japan have never heard of Nakajima Aircraft, but during World War II, this company was one of the 2 largest aircraft manufacturers in Japan, right alongside Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. They were responsible for building a significant portion of Japan's wartime fighter planes. And the very first factory Nakajima built in Tokyo, right here, Ogikubo. November 1925, a small factory opens, 3,800 tsubo of land, roughly 12,500 square meters, just 80 employees. But what they built here was anything but small. Kotobuki, Sakai, Homare, these are the names of the engines that came out of this factory. The Sakai engine, in particular, was the heart of the A6M0, the most iconic Japanese fighter plane of the war. Researchers estimate that Nakajima alone produced over 20,000 of them. This quiet farming village was powering the skies of the Pacific War. And as the factory grew, so did the town. Workers poured in from all over Japan. They needed places to live. Rental rooms and houses started multiplying. Fire stations, police stations, post offices, the infrastructure of a real city began to take shape. Every day at 4 p.m., the factory siren would sound, and hundreds of workers would flood out onto Omikaido. That siren became the heartbeat of Ogikubo. The factory built the town. Then 1945 came. The war ended. 2 days after Japan's surrender, Nakajima Aircraft changed its name to Fuji Industries. They were trying to pivot, military to civilian. We're not a weapons maker anymore. We make peaceful things now. GHQ wasn't buying it. In 1946, the company was designated as a Zaibatsu, one of the industrial conglomerates that GHQ was determined to dismantle. In 1947, an official GHQ memorandum ordered the company to dissolve. By 1950, the process was complete. The company was split into 12 separate entities. The largest aircraft manufacturer in Asia, gone, erased. The founder, Nakajima Chikuhei, was arrested in December 1945 on suspicion of Class A war crimes. He was never formally indicted, but he was removed from public life, banned from politics. He died in 1949. The Ogikubo factory became Fuji Precision Industries, then Prince Motors, then Nissan. In the early 2000s, the land was sold. Today, it's called Momoi Harappa Park, a local disaster prevention park where kids play on the weekends. One thing remains, a small stone monument along Omikaido. It reads, "The birthplace of Nakajima Aircraft Engines." That's it. No explanation, no context, just the words. The factory was gone, but the people were still here. In 1946, a black market appeared on the north side of Ogikubo Station. right along Omekaido. They called it the Shinko Market, the new rising market. It stood exactly where Town 7 shopping center stands today. Food, goods, whatever you needed to survive. Black market is, by definition, outside the law. But in post-war Tokyo, there was no other way. And out of that black market came Ogikubo Ramen. Here's the interesting part. Before the war, Ogikubo had a lot of soba shops, Japanese buckwheat noodle restaurants. But after the war, buckwheat flour became nearly impossible to get. So the soba chefs looked at what they could get. Wheat flour, distributed through government rations. You could make noodles from wheat. And the techniques they already knew. The kishi sauce, the dried fish broth, the soy sauce. Those transferred directly. The craftsmen of this town had built precision machines. Now they turned that same obsessive attention to detail toward a bowl of soup because they had to survive. In 1947, a group of soba chefs from Nagano Prefecture opened a shop together called Marucho. In 1949, a man named Imamura Isao started a ramen stall and eventually opened Harukiya, fish-based broth, dark soy sauce, thin, wavy noodles. This became the Ogikubo style. And here's something almost nobody knows. The origins of tsukemen, dipping noodles, can be traced back here. One of Marucho's founding members went independent and opened a shop called Taishoken in Nakano in 1951. A young cook named Yamagishi Kazuo worked there. Yamagishi used to eat his staff meal by dipping leftover noodles into warm broth. A regular customer saw him doing it one day and said, "Hey, can I get that?" In 1955, it went on the menu as Special Mori Soba. The Ogikubo DNA had jumped to Nakano, and from there, it spread across Japan. Something interesting happened next. The people who first recognized what Ogikubo Ramen really was were artists and writers. The Chuo line running through this part of Tokyo had always attracted a certain kind of person. Writers, directors, intellectuals. Their essays and novels are filled with references to ramen shops in Ogikubo. In the 1970s, a film director named Yamamoto Kajiro, known as the mentor of Akira Kurosawa, published a food book and gave Harukiya an extraordinary review. At the time, ramen was still seen as cheap, low-class food. And here was a respected film director saying, "This is the real thing." In 1985, an Ogikubo ramen shop served as a filming location for a movie that was released worldwide. In the late 1980s, a major food company released a cup noodle called Ogikubo Ramen and promoted it in TV commercials across the country. The ramen from a town that once built Zero fighter engines was now on supermarket shelves from Hokkaido to Okinawa. Nobody connected the dots. Back to the present. Walk around the north exit of Ogikubo Station today, and you'll notice something. Shuttered storefronts, shops that haven't opened in months. Manryuken, 58 years of history, gone. Fujichuka Soba, over 50 years, gone. Ginza Torigen, 55 years, gone. And then there's Town 7, the building that stands on the exact site of the 1946 black market. The black market became the Shinko Market. The Shinko Market lasted nearly 35 years as a wooden shopping arcade, before being redeveloped into this building in 1981. Now this building is coming down. A tower condominium is planned. New commercial facilities, The official completion date hasn't been announced, but locals expect sometime around 2030. Think about what this land has been through. Farmland became a factory. The factory became rubble. The rubble became a black market. The black market became a building. And now that building is coming down. Every time something is lost. Every time nobody notices until it's already gone. Most people in Japan don't know that Ogikubo ramen came from a black market. Almost no one knows. That black market grew out of the ruins of a Zero fighter engine factory. But that's how cities work. The surface gets updated. The history underneath goes quiet. If you made it this far, thank you. If you want to see more stories like this from the parts of Japan that don't make it into the travel guides, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.